Welcome to the Untrapped Podcast, where we're motivated and inspired about success, small business, and personal development. And now, Keith Kalfas.
I've got to document this immediately. Listen to me. So when you're getting your business off the ground, you are working constantly because you spend 40 hours a week paying the bills, and then the other 40 hours is actually working on the business and learning and making mistakes and everything and cleaning up those mistakes. So you have to work an extra 40 hours just to make up for all the stuff that you don't know. You have to work 80 hours a week to get the business sustainable because you have this learning curve and you don't have the right clientele that's not paying right. You don't have the skill. There's so much. So that's why when you're getting a business off the ground, you feel isolated and alone and like nobody understands you, and you're going insane and you're not getting any sleep. You're probably not eating healthy. You might be eating way too much fast food because you're constantly on the go. It's very stressful. But then if you track the same person years down the road, things are going along smooth and they're like, what are you talking about? It's always been this way. It has not always been this way. We forget where we came from. So what I want to talk about very succinctly is that I made these promises to myself early on that when I finally got some money in the bank and some debt paid off, and back then to me it was like, when I get this amount of money in the bank and this debt paid off, just enough to breathe, the first thing that I'm going to do is invest in healthier eating. And then the next would be getting proper sleep again, because what I said, you don't eat healthy and you don't get proper sleep. Sleeping literally, some business owners sleep 3 to 5 hours a night. They're working, they wake up in the middle of the night and work. If they don't, the business will fall apart, right? But here's what happens. If you've been broke your whole life and you grew up broke and struggling, when you finally get a little bit of money and I don't know, you land your first $20,000 client, you get 20 grand in the bank, you get 50 grand in the bank, whatever happens, this monkey mind that we have, this old part of our brain wants to take the cookie and put it in our mouth and go, oh my God, I have money. I can go buy a brand new truck. I can pimp my life. We can actually upgrade and get the hell out of this little tiny apartment or trailer. I could buy that truck I've always wanted. Oh my God. And we start going out to eat and getting steak and doing these stupid things that you almost can't even help yourself because you've never had that your whole life. And finally it's right in front of you. And it's like, it's the perfect justification and excuse, right? But I remember Eben Pagan in an amazing course I took. It was a $2,000 online course. He talked about when he finally started making a lot of money, he had all that temptation. He said, you know what, let me take that cookie and push it back. Instead of doing all those things that I could do, let me use this little bit of extra money that I'm making to really dive in at a whole new level of precision. Let me invest in my education. Let me invest in healthier eating and getting better sleep. I think in a great investment, this sounds crazy. If you're sleeping on an old crummy mattress that was a hand-me-down mattress that you got from like your mom, your dad, or your aunt, and your uncle, and you've been sleeping on this mattress for 15 years and it's freaking got bed bugs and it's stiff, you might not even be aware you're getting horrible sleep because you don't have a great mattress. Investing like, I don't know, you name it, $1,000 to $5,000, depending on how much you can afford on a really good luxury, high quality mattress to improve the quality of your sleep so you get deeper REM sleep. If you study neuroscience and sleep studies and closing all the windows and shades, I sleep with an eye mask on. It's kind of silly because in the morning, if the sun or even a street light outside is getting through, something as simple as, I know I'm digressing here, but listen, because this is how specific you get. Something as simple as the light on a smoke detector in the other room hits the rods and cones in your eyes and then tells the parts of your brain to release the chemicals to be awake. If you wake up in the middle of the night to go pee, like I literally have the eye mask. If I just go to use the bathroom and I try to keep my eyes squinted so no light gets in, so I can stay in that sleep mode because I'm a very sensitive sleeper and I've been very sleep deprived. So I become aware of getting healthy sleep and putting sleep as a priority now proper, because there's 4 key areas. I am digressing, I'm aware, but listen, proper sleep, proper nutrition, proper hydration, and then exercise. So those are the 4 fundamentals of your body. And if you ever get really stressed out, immediately make sure you're drinking lots of clean, healthy water. You're not eating a bunch of fast food. You're eating healthy. You're getting proper sleep, and you're going and getting exercise. That can reduce stress levels immediately to get you back to baseline, right? If you're in a negative. So, but with all that being said, once you get your business going, you finally get some clients and you get some money, investing in things like back into your education. So instead of upgrading your lifestyle, what if you invested in online courses and coaching and consulting and education and private group workshops? You got off of so much social media and started finding and learning what do the people do at a higher level that actually got them better results. You can stand on the shoulders of giants, and learn from other people's mistakes. You can maybe fly across the country and go to some 3-4 day workshop seminar, do deep dive intensive, taking notes and learning from other business owners how they've systematized their business or something like that. Instead of spending the winter lying around playing video games and scrolling on social media, then kicking yourself for it in the spring. I mean, for me, it took me many years of trial and error. I'm nowhere where I want to be. I'm not talking like I'm the dude. I'm not the message. I'm just the messenger. So don't shoot the messenger. But like the winter would come, and I would be like, that's it. This winter, I'm going to do all these things. And I do a lot of stuff. I'm a workaholic, right? I think I have really insanely good work ethic, but the temptation to like lay around and scroll on social media and not do the things I was supposed to do, and here's the point I'm making, would overcome me, and then I would fall into depression, go into seasonal depression, and then the next summer, if you've been through this enough in your life and you're old enough or wise enough, then you fall into the trappings of the summer, and then you're burned out by August, and it's just the cycle repeats. And so until we get into the deeper core issues and finding out what are the systems and subsystems that are causing this, I believe that if you look at your life holistically and practically, you can see that, oh my God, you haven't spent enough time with your dad and taking him out to lunch. You have a grandma that you got to see people in your family. You got to get through Christmas. You have to rekindle the relationship with your loved ones or with your spouse. Maybe there's a part of you that's suffering and starving on the inside that literally requires, this sounds almost in the opposite of what I just said, but to literally sleep until noon and lay around in your pajamas all day, actually reading books and watching movies and sipping hot cocoa and looking out the window and feeling cozy inside of your home, or even if you live in an apartment or whatever, anywhere you live, because I've lived in apartments, trailer parks, I've lived in 32 homes, I've been homeless, we slept in a couple homeless shelters when I was a kid, I've slept in my car, but what I mean is allowing yourself to feel safe and secure and cry out anything from the past and get on the phone with old friends and forgive them. Like we're told and we're conditioned that that's bad and that's lazy and that's wrong. But I believe that there's a part inside of you that craves the safety and security to know that you're okay and you're on solid footing and foundation. And you have people that actually love you and care about you and support you for real. And the reciprocal of that is drawing healthy effing lines in the sand and boundaries with people who disrespect you. Either that be not only, anybody, but including friends and family, and not tolerating, because you deserve what you tolerate. So tolerating the disrespect from others also allows it to build up in your nervous system, and then you don't respect yourself, and then it eats you up. So you have all these things going on subliminally and unconsciously in the background of your life that are hogging up bandwidth, right? Imagine if you're an electrical computer system. Like, you ever see that thing? It's like that Tesla globe. And you could touch it, and then the electricity touches your finger wherever you go. What if these things are anchoring in a negative way, and they're draining us from energy unconsciously because we have these unresolved issues in our lives? So people turn to addictions and things like that to numb their pain, and so because it's hard to face. So there's this whole uncovering of the jawbreaker process of getting to the core of issues before you can actually make real progress. You got to go backwards. Sometimes you got to take a couple steps back to take a quantum leap forward. 1 step forward, 2 steps back. It feels that way. But if you see it all, if you zoom out, when in doubt, zoom out. If you zoom out, you can actually see you're actually moving forward the entire time. So if you feel burned out and like you're trying to like get your business to the next level, you're trying to make money, and you're getting like depressed because the harder you try is the more and more and more it seems it's working against you and diminished. It can feel so daunting you can fall back into depression, because those deep parts inside of you that need to be rejuvenated, replenished, watered, and have light shine into those parts of your life so you can flower. Know that
if you are looking for the greatest software ever to run your business on, go to getjobber.com/Keith. You can create proposals, invoices, collect payments, and track your entire business directly on the Jobber smartphone app. If you want to get a totally free trial of Jobber right now, open your browser, type in getjobber.com/Keith, and after the trial, if you decide to sign up with Keith's link, you'll automatically get 20% off your first 6 months. So what are you waiting for? Go to getjobber.com/Keith.
You know, I said that sounds like a feminine thing to say, flower that you are loved, but that's a real thing. Like, I grew up feeling abandoned and like I was stupid and thinking I had my biggest fear is that I'm stupid and that I'm incompetent. And I worked a bunch of dead-end jobs where people have treated me like crap and literally called me words you can't say on social media, that I walked around thinking that I was stupid, right? And it wasn't until I started my own business and realized that I wasn't stupid. I'm digressing here. This is a deep thing. I took this online course by John Assaraf called Winning the Game of Fear, and he goes deep into neuroscience and psychology and meditations. And that online course was like 60 hours long, and it changed my life. I spent the winter of 2017 just sitting in bed for like a month straight with a cup of cocoa, hot cocoa or coffee or whatever time of day, or tea, with headphones on, in a very, very peaceful, serene place. And I put I save up money for the winter, and I would go into these deep dive meditations of relieving a lot of this internal pain and suffering in my life that was holding me back from getting to the next level. And I realized for me, it was unworthiness. You know, worthiness is a huge thing. There's people that work 50, 60 hours a week their whole lives, and yet they never make any more money. They don't upgrade their life because they actually just feel unworthy. So why do you feel unworthy? Is it a generational curse? Is it just some generational trauma? Is your parents or your parents' parents grew up in the Depression era, and they've, you know, at the time they did what they had to do, but now is this brainwashing making you totally afraid, or afraid to like, what if you could totally afford it now, and you're literally afraid to just upgrade your work vehicle and stop driving an old crappy truck, and you're not even aware that actually just going and getting a new truck this whole time, you're going to be able to easily afford it. Like, here, quick story. When I finally started driving brand new trucks, I was so terrified. I felt so unworthy. And the only reason I even got a new truck is because I actually crunched the math, and I had a logical justification mathematically that it was actually costing me the same amount of money to keep repair broken down trucks, and then in the shop, then we couldn't work that day, and then the truck, then this blew up. Dude, it was thousands of dollars a year. And when I crunched the numbers, I was like, wait a second. If this keeps going and I keep running a landscape business, my trucks being in the shop, I could literally just drive around in a brand new truck and even make more money because the downtime doesn't exist. But most importantly of all, the peace of mind, knowing I can just drive and I'm not scared that the thing is going to blow up and be stuck on the side of the road again. What's that peace of mind worth? So I had to get all these angles to get leverage on myself. And the day I'm driving home from the dealership in a brand new truck, tears in my eyes. It took me a while to get used to that. And now I was like, well, I'm actually considering buying a used truck for like cash now because I'm sick of making payments. But funny how you go back when you actually have the choice. But what I mean is, like, sometimes you're actually ready. You don't need any more traumas or emergencies in your life. You've already been through so much hell. You've already earned your stars and stripes, and you're actually ready to upgrade now. And you're just being a little bitch, and you're not aware that it's time for you to not only just step into the future's pulling you, and you're holding on to the past. And all you got to do is just cut the rope and let go of the anchors and go, It's like you're holding a beach ball underneath the water, and you're fighting and you're struggling, and you're fighting. And finally, what happens when you let go of a beach ball? Boom, it just floats up to the top. It pops up to the top and it floats. Why? Because that's its natural state. Your natural state is abundance. It's clarity. It's free from all types of friction and fiction too. So are you living in a fiction? How do you get out of the mental fog, right? I believe the fastest way you can do it is get around highly encouraging, positive, enthusiastic people who do not live in their excuses. They don't accept the denial. They don't live in a scarcity mindset, and they cajole you and they challenge you to step up to the plate and be awake and aware to your own life and how abundant it actually is. And after that, you just got to put one foot in front of the other. It's all out there for you right now. And you know what? It's not out there anymore. It's right here. It's right here. It's all around you. All the success and life and brilliance you wish to have and achieve, it's all inside of you, just waiting to unfold. And you have the key. Turn the key and open the door and just let it all flow. Yeah, now. Hey, I hope you liked the show. And if you like the Untrapped podcast and you get value from it, can you please take a minute and go over to Spotify and leave it a well-worded, positive 5-star review? It helps boost the rankings on Spotify so the show can get to more people. Therefore, these messages can get out to more people and inspire more people so then they can go out and start their small businesses and crush it and get to the next level. It's a huge deal. All right, I'll see you in the next show.